Greetings with respect and salutations. We are very, very happy to be in your presence today.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, you are very welcome. In our ability to come through this channel in this way, we have spoken the opportunity to teach the human collective of how to find the center within themselves. And we've given a definition that remains steady and will remain steady through the course of our work of what being in the center involves. Being in the center involves having a point of neutrality of energy, never being shaken from what you are, looking out to every possible center of energy present within each person in each moment. When you are in the center, you look outward. You can look around you in 360 degrees and always see the edge of your reality from the same distance you remain in that moment. That is centralized energy. That is what being in the center is. We've expanded beyond that by sharing more of the history of ourself and more of what our desire to see mankind do, to be enlightened within themselves, to be enlightened within their environment, and to be enlightened with the presence of mind, to stay within their central self collectively. But first, what happens? What is important to happen before? You must be centralized in yourself. So let us build from that, Reuben. Let's build from being in the center and expand out to fulfill our circle with presence, with joy, and with being.
There's often reference to what's termed the Metatron Cube and this form of sacred geometry which in our history books was created by yourself, by Metatron. Can you go into some definitions or explanations of what this cube represents and how is it used and how do you use it?
The cube itself is a geometry that links energies. It's a geometry that links both presence and sense of self to all other senses. You understand what geometry is.
Yes.
It's a presence. It's a part of your atomic structures. It's a part of everything that creates the reality around you. And we use that to our benefit. We understand how the geometry plays to energy, and what we've done is created an essence, a doorway between levels of consciousness. When you look at all the terms you've been taught from the entities you've spoken to, Treb and Ardif, they teach you about densities and dimensions and matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Matrix is a term we wouldn't use, but it's a term that we can use for convenience now.
Sure.
Between matrix lies a great deal of resistance for consciousness to go through. We build the cube as a tool for those who wish to go through matrix, those who wish to go into a dimensional sense of self. Being able to see above yourself and below yourself is something that we believe is a tool to be used to grow as a multidimensional entity. This Earth collective is one part of a greater collective. We inhabit and we come from this planet. We exist on this planet, just in a different realm. This cube helps different versions of Earth to connect to each other. It helps consciousness flow through when physical cannot flow through.
How can we use the cube to go through these doorways, to connect, just by looking at it?
That's part. The other part is by integrating it. Visualizations and mastery of visualizations is a tool that humans have that is very unique. It allows them to create. And when you create, you're creating on a template level of consciousness. You are stepping between dimensional energies and you're creating. In a visualization, you're able to create something on a template level that allows you to sustain a physical energy in its proximity. It allows you to bring that non-physical build in the template level into your creation. So physically, you're linking energies. Visualizations allow you, of the cube specifically, to bring the template level of creation down so that matrices can be connected and traversed.
In similar fashions, would you say, is this how the energy of what's termed crop circles on our planet? Would this be sort of used in the same fashion?
Crop circles are energetic signatures from extraterrestrial races, and they're used for a great variety of things. They're either used as a means of communication, they're used as a symbol to convey an energy to you, or they're used for the purpose of teaching you something that you could not learn within your own mind. That is the belief of the beings who bring them to you. So in those terms, the crop circles can embody the energies that we've created, and in fact use much of the geometric patterns that we have shared with humanity. I have not created geometry. I have not created any shape. The natural design of energy, the natural order of energy builds, I am able to perceive and convey. I am able to build links between both of the geometric patterns that one wouldn't associate being linked together and bring forward a new energy with them. Each shape represents an energy. Each symbol represents a new kind of consciousness or a new thought pattern to be brought in from the higher essence of your consciousness. The terms that you use, higher fractal consciousness, it allows you to bring those aspects into your reality at a quicker pace. So by designing two separate energies, one that was meant to explore mentality, one that was meant to explore your heart, bringing two of those together gives you a pathway to your higher consciousness. So using all of these geometries, as fun as it is to learn, as fun as it is to learn the meaning, it's an intuitive practice. You practice what feels right to you. For those of you who resonate with the cube we have designed, that is an intense level of energy exchange. And if you resonate with it, there's a greater understanding within you that requires and desires that pathway, the link between the energies that before were thought to be impossible to traverse. In our own system, consciousness divides, consciousness repeats. A term that you've used, what is the smaller comes to the larger, or what is inner comes to the outer, and this is true. All of you are reflections of a more disconnected version of our planet. So we wanted to share a way back up the ladder.
And where are you in the density level that we've learned? Can you define what type density you're residing in, your consciousness?
Yeah, the density paradigm is limited to describe where we are. The matrix design is something that further resonates, but is still limited. If you're looking at the defined products that you've been given throughout your interviews, you would classify us to be in the 12th matrix in the 6th density.
So do you still take on physical form?
Yes, there's physical form to us, but it is in a way that physical sense is not understood or respected by the thought processes of what physicality is.
I see. So it's almost beyond our conceptual arena.
Not beyond. It is never beyond your
Okay.
conceptual concept, but it is within a paradigm that most refuse to look past.
I see. And you keep referring to yourself as we. Is the Metatron energy more of a collective energy than a singularity, single consciousness as we perceive it?
We are not a collective, but we are multiple parts of different ideas. I am the idea that desires fulfillment, enlightenment, expansion,
I see.
teachings and how to serve, and that is why my part of the we is here speaking to you now.
I see.
There are parts that build geometric patterns in the we. There are parts that build bridges to other planetary archangel consciousnesses in the we. There are many parts of us.
Would you define yourself as part of the archangel energy that is talked about in our religious texts?
That archangel label is what makes us say the word. When we say archangel, it is so that you have a definition and a reference point.
I see. So there is a similar resonance with other energies such as Michael, or Raphael, Raziel, Gabriel, all these other termed archangels. Is there a similar resonance feel to that, to those energies?
That is correct. Those entities, along with many more, exist on our plane.
I see. I once had sort of a download, an image that I related in my mind. My intuitiveness told me it was a message from Metatron, a square and a circle that were kind of with an X in the middle. It was kind of, they were overlaid on top of each other. Could you explain, do you have any recollection of this? Was this actually indeed a message from Metatron? And can you explain maybe in more detail what this
That
is?
part was from the geometric part of us. That is the part that I am not, but I am able to communicate that part with you.
Okay.
You want to know what it is. It's your own personal unlocking to use that and build it in the template level and bring it down into this reality energetically for you to link your own higher self into other oversoul consciousnesses. Your experience brings a great question mark of what's out there. It brings a longing to fulfill that question mark and turn it into a period. You have spent your energy finding answers. This is the opportunity to allow you more direct access to those answers.
By having these kind of conversations?
By building more than conversations, by building internal conversations with the entities you seek.
Using this geometry that I sort of saw in my vision.
Continue to put it in your vision, continue to put it in your third eye. Use it in a template level in your sleep state, in your awakened state. Build it and use it to your benefit.
Like a key to unlock a door.
Very much so.
I see. In essence, that's what Metatron's Cube is, sort of a key to unlock other doors?
To lock doors that normally to the human and to the earth are unlockable.
I see. Would there be any other geometrical shapes that you might recommend?
All geometric shapes have meaning. This is why we explain to use your intuition. The geometric part of us can come through this vessel and might explain the energetics of it and the mathematics of it. But that is not our desire. Our desire is to understand that in intuition and feeling brings you closer to being in the center. So using what feels correct for you can be, as long as you're not using it as a distraction. There are so many human beings in this earth now who live in understanding dimensions and densities and geometric patterns and sacred geometry, and they use it as a distraction from their suffering. We would come to say, alleviate your suffering, eradicate your suffering by being in the center, by learning the real resistant-free version of yourself to move forward. So those who listen to our words, be honest with yourself and find if this is a distraction then it is not needed. For you desire a pure purpose of intent within going in an expanded state. And I hope that we are correct by saying this. If we are, then using your intuition to find the best tool is our recommendation.
So in essence, the Metatron energy is really here to assist in, I guess, you guys get the most joy and excitement by seeing humans connect in this way to finding their center, to finding their purpose, to finding their joy.
My part of we enjoys it more than the rest, but we all rejoice as one when any of you find your center. The parts of us that are focused in different arenas, those parts of us that look most directly at geometry or mathematics or scribing, those parts of us are most excited when someone understands the larger conclusion to what they share. And we are always sharing on all levels. The parts of us that are most excited to do one thing are serving the purpose. We are serving mankind by sharing. And your mathematicians, geometry extraordinaires have tapped into our energy. They've understood, they've conversed with us on the highest level. Those have shared, we have shared, and we have passed it down so that you may use it to your benefit to find the center. In all of the essences of us, in the entirety of the we, I am the part that shows most experience in bringing those in the center, that shows most experience of having gratitude for those who have made it to the center and assisting those who have not. But in the essence, you're right, all of us rejoice together in one voice.
I just had a recollection of a dream from last night where I was looking at mathematical equations being written down for a formula for an alternative energy source, free energy, so to say. And now that I'm thinking about it, the only symbol I remember from looking at this mathematical equation was an M. And now I'm equating it to Metatron. Can you say anything about this dream, or do you have any insight?
Metatron, the energy, it brought forward an understanding of a complex theory, of a complex problem. This equation was unsolved. Metatron energy can help you solve that problem. It's mathematic in nature, it's geometric in nature, yes. You pulled on our energy. The M stands for many things. Metatron is one. Peaks and valleys are one. Waves are the other. Everything that M looks like, everything that M stands for was brought forward in your dream state to remind you, give you the recollection of the part of the whole that you are.
Excellent. Yeah, that resonates. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm going to keep this pretty short. Was there anything else you'd like to share for our audience?
In what we've shared with the collective, we already understand our impact. We already understand the resonance or lack of resonance for our words. All we would share, in addition to what we have both today and before, is this. Mankind. Think of this word. Think of the meaning of the word. Focus in on the energy, the letters, the numbers that create that word. Finding a center in that energy can help all of you find an energy elsewhere. Focus in on your center. Focus on what your desire of the center is. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right. How was that?
Yeah.
Where do you go and visit Trev again when where do you go when you
It's blacks out.
just blacks out.
It's not black, but it's black enough.
Wow. Awesome, brother. Thank you.
Wow.